Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing another back to basics video, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to prevent your clay from getting dirty. So on the screen is a scenario that I think a lot of us have gone through, where we've taken some clay, we're ready to craft, we've rolled it between our hands and it's come out looking awful. It's covered in dust and dirt and lint and fibres, all the worst things that you could possibly imagine. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to prevent this from happening. So there are three major things you need to be thinking about when trying to prevent dust and dirt, and that is the room you work in, your workspace, and also the tools that you use. So basically the biggest reason that your clay gets dirty or dusty or whatever it is because your workspace is dirty or dusty or whatever it is. So basically the main rule is to clean and tidy as much as you can. Personally, I hate tidying and I hate cleaning, but if you want to keep your clay clean, that's just what you have to do. So as you can see here, my desk needed a really good tidy. I couldn't even work on this desk, but in general you should try and keep your desk as tidy as possible. If you work messy, that's completely fine, but if you want to keep everything as clean as possible, the less things on your desk, the better. So there are a number of things that you can use to clean the surface of your desk. It obviously depends what type of material your desk is, but I like to use baby wipes, which isn't actually the only thing, you'll see later on in the video. But basically I like to use baby wipes, and I take one out and I basically just go to town cleaning the surface of my desk. If you have a work mat like I do, I obviously clean this alongside that, but that needs to be removed so that you can clean the desk properly as well. If you're wondering what all the marks on my desk are, it's just basically where someone has destroyed it and the paint is chipping, and it's really gross, and it wasn't me, it was the previous tenants. But basically, as you can see here, that is just how much dirt that has come off with just one wipe. I actually wipe my desk down about 3 to 4 times, depending on how dirty it is, how long it's been, whatever it is. So like I said, I actually repeat this as many times as I need to, and every single time there seems to be more dirt and more dust left on there. So after I've done that, I don't let it air dry because I feel like more dust is going to settle when it's wet and then get dried, and I don't know, that's probably might not even happen because it doesn't take that long to dry, but I basically just take a kitchen towel and I just dry it myself basically. So the next thing I'm actually going to do is then actually dust my desk. So this just obviously gets all the extra dust, and it also gets all the fibres from those baby wipes. I actually find a lot of wipes leave fibres behind, like really tiny white fibres, and that obviously isn't dust or dirt, but it can get in clay and it drives me nuts. So I'm going to be using a duster. So you can use the sort of synthetic kind, or you can use the bog standard yellow one. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing next. So once you've finished cleaning your desk and your workspace, the next thing you're going to move on to is cleaning your tools. So my most used tool, and I'm sure yours is too, is actually my hands. So you want to clean your hands before you start working with clay. So obviously just wash them with soap and water, or warm water, whatever you prefer. But you also might want to clean them as you craft. So if you're working with dark colours like red, black, dark blue, those kind of colours, they may stain your hands, so when you move on to another colour they will also stain that. So don't forget, it is really good to wash your hands before, after and during crafting. So the next step, or the next thing I recommend, is going to be having a ball of scrap clay on hand at all times. I use this every single time I craft, and it is really helpful for getting rid of dust. So as you can see from the screen, it is really soft, and that is exactly what you want. You want it to be soft, kind of tacky, so that it picks up a lot of dust. If you don't know how to soften clay, I do have a tutorial on it, and I will leave that on the screen right now. So if you need any help with that, you could just click the tutorial. So basically what I do with this piece of scrap clay is that I just basically roll it into my hands, I squish it between my fingers, I basically just play with it for a good minute or two before I start clay, just to get rid of all the dust and all the dirt that I didn't get when I was washing my hands. Also, something you don't really think about is that my towel that I use to dry my hands, actually a lot of the fibres from that towel get stuck to my hands. So even though I've washed my hands of dirt, I actually have fibres stuck to it. So using this piece of clay helps get rid of all of the stuff that is left from the towel, or my clothes, or anything like that. Another thing I use this for is to do a really quick clean of my work surface. If I don't feel like cleaning my entire work surface, I will basically just run this across my mat, as you can see on the screen right now, and it collects a ton of dirt. So bearing in mind I keep my workspace pretty clean, just look at all the dirt and dust that it's managed to pick up. So like I said, if you're feeling a bit lazy and you don't want to clean everything, I really just highly recommend having a piece of scrap clay. It is just so handy. As I mentioned earlier, I also use it for all of my tools, so that does mean blades and molds and stuff. So as you can see here, I'm actually placing the scrap clay in my cupcake base molds before I use them to pick up any dirt that's been left over, any clay colours, or if I used a dark colour like I mentioned earlier and it stained my mold, that will get rid of it and it works perfectly. So as you can see here, I've just sped up videos of me working to show you that I actually pick it up every single time I change pieces of clay, change colours. Literally, I pick this piece of clay up and roll it between my hands constantly. So I just wanted to show you that I wasn't exaggerating and this is just what's necessary for me. You also, side note, shouldn't really be crafting in your dressing gown because those fibres will get on the clay, but I was cold and, you know, I'll deal with the consequences. And here I also wanted to highlight that nobody is perfect and that even with all of these steps, I still managed to get dust on my pieces. So if you still have dust on your pieces like this, you can just gently remove them with an X-Acto knife. As I stressed earlier, nobody's perfect, dust really is inevitable, but if you don't do these steps, it will be even worse. They really are important and they really do help. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it was quite talky and maybe not that exciting, but it is a back to basics video that I thought was really important, and a lot of people do ask me about this on Instagram and on videos, so I really hope this was helpful. So if you want to see more videos from me, you can click on the screen right now to be taken to my last uploaded video. You can also ask me questions in the comment section below if there's anything in this video that I didn't mention that you are curious about. So thanks so much for watching this video and I'll see you in my next one. Goodbye.